Drake has always been recognized for his ability to blend geographical, musical, and cultural boundaries. From his early days of incorporating Caribbean beats into Toronto slang to dominating American rap charts with R&B infused melodies, he has consistently acted as a musical ambassador. However, during a chilly evening in London on the European leg of his latest tour, the Six God did something unexpected. He drew a definitive line, and then he crossed it. Welcome to Celebrity Cookies, where the tea is always hot and the stories come with sprinkles of surprise. Make sure to subscribe, leave a comment with your take on the story. Under the bright lights of the O2 Arena, with the Union Jack flying high above a sea of enthusiastic fans, Drake boldly stated what many had only whispered, loud enough for both sides of the Atlantic to hear. London rappers, he declared, pausing as if to confirm his own statement, are the best lyricists in the world. Period. The audience erupted. But he wasn't finished. No disrespect to America, but no one in the world can out-rap London rappers. This is the highest level. This is what I aspire to be. With that, years of unspoken rivalry, cultural conflicts, and lyrical exchanges were turned upside down. Drake, one of America's most commercially successful artists, raised in Toronto but shaped by the US music industry, had just proclaimed that the UK holds the lyrical title. It was a daring and controversial statement, and for many, it was long overdue. This wasn't just a casual compliment or an artist trying to win over a foreign audience for applause. It was a moment of respect, an acknowledgement, and a passing of the torch, not just from one city to another, but from one era to the next. To grasp the significance of Drake's words, one must understand the context behind them. For years, UK rap was often regarded by many in the US as a niche genre. Styles like grime, drill, and garage were frequently mocked, misunderstood, or overlooked by American hip-hop gatekeepers. UK accents were ridiculed, slang was dismissed, and despite the undeniable talent emerging from cities like London, Birmingham, and Manchester, few British rappers made it onto US playlists or headlines. However, the landscape began to change. Artists such as Giggs, Skepta, Dave, Little Simz, and Stormzy gained recognition, first in their home country and gradually across international borders. They weren't trying to emulate American rappers or follow trends. They were creating something unique, deeply rooted in British culture yet resonating globally. And Drake? He took notice. He has been collaborating with UK artists for years, long before it became trendy. In 2017, he surprised audiences at Coachella by bringing out Giggs. That same year, he featured on KMT, capturing not just the sound but the essence of the UK scene. He collaborated with Skepta, acknowledged Section Boys, and even dedicated an entire episode of OVO Sound Radio to UK grime. Yet, he had never expressed it quite like this before. That night in London, a significant change occurred. Drake stood before a sold-out audience in the UK and not only praised them but also uplifted them. He declared them the benchmark he aimed to reach. For an artist who has dominated global charts for over 10 years, such humility carried substantial meaning. The response was swift. Rappers throughout London, who had long sought recognition as equals, or even superiors, felt validated. Dave shared a mysterious quote that evening, "They know now." Stormzy simply tweeted respect. Giggs posted an Instagram story featuring a crown emoji without any text. But it wasn't just the artists who reacted. Fans across the UK felt a long overdue acknowledgement. Online discussions surged. Playlists were rearranged. Suddenly, every corner of the internet was buzzing with the same question. Was Drake correct? Is London truly home to the world's finest lyricists? For some, the answer has always been affirmative. Consider Dave, whose lyrical skill and storytelling in songs like Heart Attack, or Leslie, rival anything from Brooklyn or Compton. Or Little Simz, who combines introspection with sharp lyrics reminiscent of Lauryn Hill at her best. Or Kano, a foundational figure in grime, whose rhythms and cultural insights are both poetic and impactful. Even the UK drill scene, previously dismissed as too raw or localized, has produced artists with exceptional lyrical abilities. Central C's witty punchlines, Unknown T's flows, and Potter Paper's technical skill showcase that they are not merely hype men with accents, but true artisans. Perhaps that's what Drake was really emphasizing. It's not solely about the number of bars per minute, rhyme schemes, or the quantity of metaphors in a verse. It's about authenticity, depicting a world that is often overlooked and doing so in a distinct voice. And the UK excels in that regard. However, not everyone shared this view. Back in the United States, Twitter erupted with criticism. Some fans felt betrayed, while others accused Drake of forgetting his origins. How can you say that when your entire sound is built on Houston, Atlanta, and the West Coast? One user tweeted. Another remarked, Drake just lost his green card. London rappers can't compete with Nas, Cole, or Kendrick. But such defensiveness may overlook the main point. Drake wasn't attempting to diminish American rap or disrespect the culture that shaped him. He was acknowledging the brilliance of a scene that has frequently been undervalued. More importantly, he was admitting that even at the height of his career, he still sees potential for growth. This is what I aspire to be, he stated. Not, this is where I came from. Aspiration suggests humility and admiration. For an artist with Drake's accomplishments to still look up to someone, or something, is a rarity. That's what made the moment so impactful. In a genre often characterized by self-importance and bravado, Drake opted for respect and authenticity. By doing so, he opened a door that had been closed for far too long. In the aftermath of his performance, searches for UK rappers on YouTube surged across the United States, and Spotify noted a 14% rise in streams for grime and UK drill artists. Blogs began revisiting albums from artists like Ocean Wisdom, Avellino, and Getz, projects that had previously gone unnoticed by many outside the UK. Drake accomplished more than just celebrating a city. He illuminated a global movement. While some might accuse him of simply riding trends, history tells a different story. Drake has always been attuned to the pulse of the music scene. He doesn't merely follow trends, he often legitimizes them for a wider audience. When he asserts that London is home to the world's finest lyricists, the world takes notice. This, however, doesn't mean the debate is settled. Hip-hop is inherently competitive. Every city vies for recognition, and each region believes it is the cradle of talent. What Drake achieved that night was to remind everyone that greatness isn't confined to one coast. Lyrical excellence can emerge from Brixton just as easily as from Brooklyn. Powerful lyrics don't require an American accent to resonate. Perhaps this is the future of rap. A global dialogue where regional pride persists but doesn't hinder acknowledgement. A space where artists like Dave, Kendrick, J. Cole, and Little Sims can all be regarded as equals, not divided by oceans, but united by their craft. As the night came to a close, with the lights dimming and the crowd clamoring for an encore, you could sense a shift. Drake was no longer just performing, he was metaphorically and perhaps literally passing the mic. And if you listen carefully, amidst the music, the cheers, and the chorus of thousands chanting London Stand Up, you might have heard the beginning of a new era in hip-hop. One where boundaries are less significant, and lyrical content takes precedence. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this situation, so please share your opinions in the comments. Also, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications to stay updated on this story.